This is Fitness Fasting episode 34. It is just about 9 p.m. and I almost forgot to go live. I had scheduled the live broadcast for 8:30 and I was selling some items out of my little room here, trying to get rid of everything I own, and people were running late. And then they came with a truck that the bed didn't fit into the bed frame, and I had to take it apart and stuff it in their trunk. So, anyway, I just remembered. I'm like, yay, let's go live. So I made it my 96-hour fast this week. Was struggling a little bit today, just thinking about eating dinner and just kind of anticipating the food coming into my body, and it started making me a little mentally weak, which kind of led to some physical weakness as well. And right at the end of my work shift today, so I'm just describing how did I feel at right at like 95 hours, 94 hours. I really started feeling a little weak, but not like anything overwhelming. Like well, I did plug through. I just plugged through until I got home, and then I knew 96 hours had hit by about 7:30, and I had something to eat. Didn't eat the best. It's just be honest, I had a bunch of leftovers laying around from 4 days ago, and I was like, let's just eat these leftovers. It's kind of one day past my limit of what I would normally eat leftovers, but I was just like, you know what, I'm doing it. I'm just gonna eat these leftovers, and it was just some little bit of noodles in one bowl, and I don't even remember what else. A couple things, but so I don't really have any food left. I'm gonna have some eggs tomorrow for breakfast and just see how that feels, and maybe make a salad for lunch, and try to get some. Hoping the weather. It was really nice weather out the last couple days, and then today was just all cold and windy and rainy. And I got a feeling it's gonna be like that tomorrow too. I really want to go out for like a super long hike or maybe a nice little jog around the neighborhood, and we'll just see how the weather is though. Don't have tons of plans otherwise. Just plugging through with the fasting and then getting back on board with like just training myself to eat right on my days off of work. So that is about it, guys. Just a quick update. Made it 96 hours, so that's kind of the victory for today. Today was a W then. And I worked out 3 of the 4 days of fasting. The first day is nothing. You still have glycogen in your body, so it's easy to work out. Like I jogged 2 miles and lift weights that after 24 hours. And then after 48 hours, I jogged a little bit, and then I also walked, and I also lifted some light weights. And then the third day, I didn't jog at all, but I did like a mile and a half ish or two of walking. I don't really remember, mile and a half at least, and then some light lifting weights as well. Just high volume, lightweight, just something I can do like a lot of reps of. Like I like to lift weights where I can do like 50 or 60 or even 100 reps. And just, I think it's a more of a fat burning workout like that then. And, when you're fasting, you're not really gonna pack on any muscle mass anyway. So just kind of burning up sugar in my body. And oh, dang it, I never remembered to take the ketone strip test this week. It probably would have tested positive yesterday. Well, now I for surely won't because I ate some pasta. It's kind of funny. Like, I wonder if I tested right now if it would show ketones at least eliminating from my urine, even though I already ate. That's curious. I might check that out. Kind of want to check my blood sugar too, guys. Reducing your carb intake is a great way to lower your blood pressure. And obviously, fasting is reducing your sugar by 100%, reducing your calories by 100%. So, like a 96-hour fast is going to have a great effect on your blood pressure. And then, so, like I talked about yesterday and the day before, though, these fasts are worthless if you don't follow them up with some successful, positive diet and exercise behavior. So, I was just sitting there drinking my water and like looking at my watch, like, okay, I'm done eating for the day. And wasn't too bad as far as total calories wise. It wasn't great as far as carb wise, but if I look at it, let's say I just ate 1,500 calories. I didn't add it up at all. It might not even have been that many. It might have been. And then divide that by 4 days, that's all the food I ate in 4 days. Really, I haven't eaten, since like 100 hours ago now, or 98 hours ago was the last time I ate. So even if you don't, have the perfect meal, like I was really wanting to have a higher standard of my first meal here, And really, I set myself up for failure when I think about it because I didn't buy any food specifically to break the fast with. I just like, oh, I think I have some things in the fridge at home, and I knew I had a couple eggs, and I knew I had some leftover lettuce and leafy greens and some vegetables maybe and some onions and stuff like that. I was like, I'll whip something up out of that. And then I got home and I opened the fridge and there's like some leftover pasta from 4 days ago and some meat from like 3 days ago, like roast beef and or that was 4 days ago too. Maybe the pasta was 5 days ago. Anyway, so I ate some of that stuff and got filled up. I feel great. I used the bathroom right away. It's kind of funny, like it just got me moving immediately. But I drank a lot of water too to rehydrate and everything. So I weighed in, my weight loss bet app, which really helped me fast because last week I ate like for lunch at work, like in the afternoon, like 2 or 3 o'clock, because I didn't care to weigh in when I got home because I had already weighed in for the week. But today I waited to weigh in this week so that I would want to wait until the fourth day was over. And, if I eat, it's going to mess up that weight. At least then I'll be weighing that extra food. So, having said that, though, I didn't weigh that much less. I weighed like a pound less than I did last week. But I don't remember exactly, though. But I was a pound less from my weight loss app anyway. So I know whatever day I weighed in, I was a pound less than I was now. I think I weighed in one day last week, but then I wasn't done fasting yet. But I put that in on my weight loss bet, and then I fasted longer and weighed a little less. Yeah, and so really I stayed about the same as far as because so that tells you I ate too much on my last 4 days off. So it's just a little something to learn. Like, hey, let's be a little more disciplined and stick to the guns and get it done on this 4 days off of work because this is where I have to be more disciplined and use my self control and my self discipline to really plug through. So welcome to the channel to all the new subscribers, guys. I'm really happy to see everybody tagging along and super cool if you'll hit that thumbs up and like, share, and subscribe. Hit that notification bell. I'm just working hard, busting my ass, trying to lose weight. I started the YouTube channel. I was 270, a little over 270 pounds, but I said, let's just call it 270 and I'll lose 100 pounds and I'll get down to 170 and I'll just have a YouTube channel documenting that 100-pound weight loss. Not some miracle diet, not some drugs, not some medication, not some pills, not some miracle, cure, just busting your ass and figuring it out. And, if you do the research, most people do not lose any significant amount of weight and keep it off. It's very uncommon. You wouldn't think so with the diet industry in America, that you think every diet works and all these scam. I almost want to make a few videos just posting all these diet and exercise routines. Like, it's like, guys, I'm not trying to sell you anything. I'm just trying to lose weight myself, and I would love if it helped you guys lose weight too. But really, it's just kind of like a personal journal, a documentary of my life of struggling with weight loss. I was a ripped Golden Gloves boxer as a teenager, just shredded. Then I was a paratrooper in the military. I was in the 82nd Airborne Division. I was a forward observer, and I was still in good shape. And I got out in like '99. I got out of the military, so I'm 52 years old now, and or I will be next month, 52. And I quit smoking before my first daughter was born in 2000, and I just gained a ton of weight, even above what I weigh now, and I never was able to take it off. And I even gained more, all the way up to 315 pounds. And in January 1st, 2016, I weighed myself like fresh out of a shower, butt naked, jumped on the scale, and that bad boy said 315, and it was time to do something about it. So here we are, years later, still struggling. Oh, hey, Angel Dust, thanks for checking in, buddy. I will have a great week ahead. And yes, I am going to crush it all day, all week. So I'm going to just keep commenters. One of my favorite commenters, he's always being positive and motivational. And I'm going to send him another t-shirt tomorrow. He's been here for the whole journey, watching me struggle and go up and down. And I hope you guys will come along with me, because when I get to that victory line, I would love to celebrate with some of my YouTube family and friends. And hopefully you can hear some here's some testimonials that maybe some of the videos you watch of mine and some of the advice, or not even advice really, just I'm just troubleshooting my own weight loss, and maybe that'll help somebody troubleshoot their weight loss. So I just know what I did last year. I weighed 270 pounds January 1st of 2023, And I did 4 days of fasting with 4 days of eating for 3 months, and I lost like 36 pounds. And I quit doing it. And I should have just never quit doing it, because since then I never lost any more weight. I gained it back. After like 9 months, it was all back. And then so now I started over, and it's falling off faster now. Well, because I weighed less to start with, but so I think I was at like 254 pounds just now. So still, a long ways to go. Considering I started the channel at 270, and it's like 16 months later, and I'm only 15, 20 pounds down. But you have to just keep plugging away. What do you give up? What do you, oh, it's taken too long. I guess I quit. And it's like, no, you can't. You never give up. Thank you, Angel Dust. My motivation is, yes, I just, I've wavered off the when I'm off camera. I've damn near wanted to cry about my weight problems, and I'm not like really really fat dude, but I mean, I know I was diagnosed with diabetes, and it's not healthy. It's really not how much what I look like, it's how healthy I am. Like, am I going to live to be 100 like I want to? Because that's what my goal is. Like, it's just achieve optimal health. And having said that, that's why I fell back to the fasting, and because I can go 4 days without eating anything, and it was very very easy. And then it's like, okay, you're gonna eat, and I have had difficulties eating healthy, and or even eating small amounts. Really, I eat healthy foods. I just don't eat. I just eat too many of them often. So, but like I said, I kind of set myself up for failure by not preparing ahead of time what I was going to eat, and then not even realizing I had all these leftovers in the fridge. I didn't even realize they were there. I thought the guy that owns the house, I had told him to eat them all. Like, because I said, hey, I'm fasting for 4 days. Eat all this. He said, okay, I will. And he ate a couple other things, but not much of it. So there was some left, and I guess it kind of fell back on my little my kind of financial attitude of like, well, I can't waste this food. I can't just throw away this. This stuff costs money, and I prepared it, and then I might as well eat it and not be. I feel a little guilty to just throw away good food that somebody else would have died for, and then I'm just gonna throw it away. So you see where I'm coming from? Like, this is how you end up with a turkey neck. Like, dude, just quit eating anything unhealthy. So I was listening to some diabetes doctors yesterday, and I really enjoy, like, look up on YouTube like doctors that are not from America. Like, I found this one woman from Wales, and I found another guy from Australia. And man, it's like they're coming from a whole nother paradigm of diet and nutrition related advice. It's just so different than what you hear from doctors talking about in America, even on YouTube, where they're breaking away from their medical practice because they don't learn. If you don't know, doctors have like zero training in nutrition. They get their 8-year degree. They have continuing education. Even after 12 years, they might only have 1 or 2 hours of lectures on nutrition, and that's it. Like, they don't make any money to tell you how to eat right. They make money to prescribe drugs and perform surgeries. That's how hospitals make money. So it makes perfect sense. It's not like some big conspiracy or anything. They're a capitalistic business, and they make money by performing surgeries and giving you prescription drugs. So it's your job to just learn how to not have to fall back on either one of those things. If you don't mind me asking, how does your gut do after you break up? You know, yeah, I didn't know you did any fasting, Angel Dust. No, no, now that I say that, I think I remember you talking about it a couple times. My gut must just be like a brick, because it doesn't seem to matter what I eat. Like, I'm always fine. Although, like I said, I ate some pot, like some like homemade macaroni and cheese is what it was. And it'd been in the fridge for a few days, and so you kind of had the dairy in there and some pasta, which is basically sugar. Pasta is, you got, what do you got? The different kinds of sugar. It's exactly what flour and noodles and bread and rice. They all have. They're either like polysaccharides, or what are all the names of the sugars? Disaccharides, polysaccharides, and then all the way to like fiber is a undigestible polysaccharide. So those are all carbohydrates. They're all sugar. They either got glucose, fructose, or sucrose in different combinations. They're usually 50-50 or one or the other. And so bread and sugar, it's just all poisonous for a body like mine. And so the healthier I eat, the better my gut does. You know what I really enjoy is things like when I made some videos about taking that cachaba, and I'm thinking about falling back to that to have for breakfast on my eating days, on my days off of work, because that just really, supports your gut microbiome and your intestinal health and your gut health, and it's just so fun. It's got prebiotics and probiotics and it's got everything in there. So anyway, listen to these doctors from other countries. Really, this I want to go back and listen to this woman from Wales because it was like the most complete, not acting like she knows everything and her books are the only way to go, and you know what I mean. She was just talking like, this is the truth. She was a vegetarian for like 20 years, and she got off of that because she realized some things about some pros and cons of different, I'm not trying to down anybody. You can be a vegetarian if that works for you, man. Go for it. If you only eat meat, go for it. I'm not trying to pretend it to be anything. I'm not selling anything. I just want to find exactly what works the best for me and what works for the most people. If I could ever, I would love to write some diet and nutrition and exercise book someday if I get it all figured out and I show you like, hey, this is how I went from 315 pounds and I got weight, all the way back down to my Golden Gloves boxing, 162 pound shredded beef old man. I just love that. And, my point is though, I'm not a nutritionist or a doctor, and I don't have anything for sale to say, oh, you should eat this or you should eat that, and then buy my book and it'll tell you to eat that. It's like a self-propagating prophecy that they're just, building up their own research and their own books and their own money-making situation, where I'm just trying to figure out how to lose weight. That's it. And I think I'm going to. I know I'm going to. I know fasting works, like on the 4 day fast, I usually lose, I'm just going to say 10 pounds. It's usually right around 10 pounds. It's usually 10 or more, like 10 or 11 or 12 pounds in the 4 days. So, of course, that's not all fat. I mean, it's probably more like maybe 1 or 2 pounds of fat. And then you're just flushing the rest of your body out. So the secret too is to just not gain it back on my 4 days of eating, and maybe even extend some of these days of, maybe extend the fast like to one of the off days of work, or like eat like I ate today, but then maybe don't eat tomorrow or the next day, or something. I got to figure it out. And I know I'm in control. I know I can do it. I have to just keep reinforcing myself. Like, I know exactly what to eat. It's very easy. Like when I went from 300, I was 315 pounds January 1st, 2023 or 2016. And I was 245 like by April. Like I lost a ton of weight in a really short time, and I didn't go to the gym a single one time. I just ate meat, fruits, very little fruits, but mostly meat and vegetables, very little nuts, very little berries, very little seeds. So it was just, meat, eggs, fish, fruits, vegetables, nuts, seeds, berries, and all the the higher carbohydrate things like in the berries and the nuts and the fruits. I just didn't eat very many of those at all. Like I would eat like 10 almonds, or, you know, which sounds ridiculous to some people, but when you're in the right frame of mind, 10 almonds is plenty satisfying. Almonds are like nuts are one of the kind of phenomenons in nature that have carbohydrates and fat. Most food in nature is either, everything has a microscopic amount of protein. Well, like meat has tons of protein, but like even an apple has a gram of protein. But most foods in nature either have fat and protein or carbs and protein. Like an apple has carbs and protein, a steak has fat and protein, where nuts have fat and carbs and protein all together. So like nuts are a great way to like survive. They're a great way. They're like weight to calorie ratio. I want to say like an ounce of almonds is like 160 or 170 calories. So it'd be a great way to survive or maintain your weight or even gain weight. Like berries are a great way. Like fruit is a great way to gain weight. I mean, high fructose corn syrup, everybody knows that's bad, right? So like fructose, the high fructose corn syrup, the molecule, it's the same exact molecule in fruit. It's fructose. There's no difference in the molecule of that type of sugar, the fructose sugar. So what is that used for? Like a bear eats all the berries it can find in the fall, and then to fatten up. That's what does nature use berries for? And it's like to fatten up animals. And it's like, okay, so maybe, and they're great for you, don't get me wrong, but fructose makes you want to eat more. And that's by nature, So you taste fructose in the berry and it makes you want to eat more. And so for me, it's like, okay, don't buy berries. And I already know to not buy nuts. I messed up again like a week ago and bought like a 12-ounce bag or 8-ounce bag of Brazil nuts, which by the way are so awesome. They had no oil, no salt, just raw organic Brazil nuts. And they were really good. But I meant to make them last like a month and they only lasted 2 days, So I just know don't buy the things that, because nuts have carbs and, have, yeah, carbs and fat, and everything has the protein. And so they're very addictive. They make you want to, it's like nature's making you want to eat more of it. And so it makes you think, well, why would God create these foods that way? Why would he create our instincts that way? And it's like, well, because they're not available. You can't just go to the freaking grocery store and buy a pound of blueberries anytime you want. They're only available at a short time of part of the year and in the fall, right before a long winter that you're not going to get very many calories. So you eat a whole bush of blueberries and you survive the winter. And the sugar in it makes you want to eat them all. They're less satiating until you're just stuffed. There's some animals in nature I was reading about, like they will just clean out a tree of different fruits and they can't even eat them all. They're just like gorged on them. And it makes you think too, like why is a fruit, what does a fruit have to gain by you eating it? Like why do apples turn red? Why do oranges turn orange? Why do bananas turn yellow to distinguish themselves in the trees? Um, um, why do they want to be consumed is to propagate their species, so we eat it and we pass it through our bodies and then it fertilizes the ground with the seeds and then more trees grow. That the fruit is trying to propagate itself, and it's propagating itself by being sweet. I don't know. Are we even supposed to eat that stuff? Like I always debate back and forth on myself if we should even be eating fruit at all. Well, you shouldn't be if you're overweight, but I'm talking about just anybody. Like the Bible talks about in Leviticus chapter 11, verse 7, that the types of meat we should eat and the types of animals, like the cow with the two stomachs and that regurgitates and chews the cud and, regurgitate. So they're processing those vegetables and those greens and those things. And then when we eat their meat, it's in their meat. And if you don't think it's in their meat, then how do you think it gets in your body? Because your meat, how do you think you have vitamin C in you? You have some fruit in you that has vitamin C, and it's like, no, you got meat in you that stores vitamin C. So when you eat that cow meat and that chicken meat and that fish, it has nutrients in it. It's not like it's only meat. If you think growing up, I didn't think of meat as having vitamins and minerals and other nutrition besides it's just protein. It's the macronutrient protein. And it's like, no, it's a lot more complete than that. There's people out there, and I'm not propagating it. I'm just saying this is one side of the story. But there's people out there that eat only steak and they're healthy and they're not getting scurvy. Like they're not eating vitamin C and they have no vitamin C in their body or in their diet, and then they don't get scurvy. So you should get scurvy without vitamin C. And then you test their body and they do have vitamin C and they haven't even eaten any. And then you see other people that don't have vitamin C in their body, but they're not getting scurvy. And then there's a belief and understanding that's coming about that maybe you only need vitamin C to help neutralize like the inflammation caused by eating fruit with the fructose. So there's inflammation and this vitamin C helps counteract that. It's an antioxidant. So that's why it's in the fruit. Like, so you need vitamin C to help you eat an orange. So oranges are full of vitamin C. You see how that makes sense? And so maybe there's something to that too. But like I said, guys, I don't know shit. I'm just trying to lose weight and feel great and get healthy and get wealthy and get happy. The getting wealthy part, I think I'm just a lot happier since I've reduced my life. Like, quit trying to like live up to, you need all these high standard of living to be happy, because if that was true, then no billionaire would have ever committed suicide in the history of the world. But it has happened, and it happens often enough to know that money does not make you happy at all. If a guy with $5 billion net worth can commit suicide, well, then money doesn't make you happy. And I'm not saying I don't want to have enough money to be comfortable, or me and my wife, and we're going to start another little family, and that we don't have enough money to be comfortable in life. And I believe we will. And I've done well enough to provide a good life for me and my wife. But, beyond that, it's more about being happy and content. And what is it like? The wise man is not not worried about what he doesn't have, but he's not focused on what he does have, but appreciative of what he does have. And what I do have is a pretty good life. A decent job, especially for my education level, and so it's a pretty good paying job for my low level of education. And my wife is the most wonderful woman I ever met in the world, and I already just love her so much, and I can't wait to, well, we'll be married soon enough, calling her my wife. And have a little baby together. And I love kids, and I already raised 5 kids with my ex-wife. From Been divorced from her for 12 years, but 13 years, but never too late to enjoy life again, and start the journey over again, and have kind of like a book of Job, where the Job had everything taken away from him, and in the end it was all restored and then some, and he was God's, a proud servant of God, and God was proud of him. So I'm hoping I can live up to those standards and have God be proud of me too, and just understand that the blessings of God are all around us, especially in America and Western civilization, Western countries. We have it so easy. We don't even get it. We think we have issues, and it's like, man, you don't have no issues. You need to travel around the world about it a little bit, and see people that do have issues, and then you'll come back home and be a lot more appreciative and respectful of the things you have here. But anyway, guys, I'm going to wrap it up. So you know how it goes. Jesus loves you. I love you. And I'll catch you guys in the next episode.